legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Feeling the power of you controlling your breathing. Knowing, remembering, it's the same power we use to control our thinking. Now use that power. Use your determination to see in your mind today your best effort in all the exercises, stretches, movements we do here together. See it in your mind right now. See yourself doing the best you can, giving the best effort you've ever done for anything. Maybe you want to visualize the last time we did these exercises and stretches together. Go there and think right now about what you could do better or differently this time. It's the same process we use to grow our minds and grow the strength and health of our bodies and energy.
Mira qué ojitos bonitos, me quedo otro ratito. Nunca creí que fuera así, cómo te fijarías en mí. Toda la noche lo pensé, este pa' mí o pa' más nadie, pa' mí o pa' más nadie, pa' mí o pa' más nadie, pa' mí o pa' más nadie. Me enamoré, lo vi solito y me lancé. Me enamoré, mira qué cosa bonita, qué boca más redondita, me gusta esa barbita. Y bailé hasta que me cansé, bailé, me enamoré, nos enamoramos, un mojito, dos mojitos, mira qué ojitos bonitos, me quedo otro ratito. Nunca creí que fuera así, cómo te fijarías en mí. Toda la noche lo pensé, este pa' mí o pa' más nadie, pa' mí o pa' más nadie, pa' mí o pa' más nadie, pa' mí o pa' más nadie.
Good morning, guys. Today, Will Smith shares with us another rule for success, one of his favorites, and Evan Carmichael's favorite as well, and that is make a choice. So Will Smith goes on to tell us that he truly believes that by making choices, he can create anything he wants in life. He wants to represent possibility. He wants to represent the magic of what we really are through that one thing. making a choice. And I love this because for me, determination stands for making a choice and following up and never giving up until you see that choice through. And so Will Smith gives us an example of how he believes he can create anything by studying it, by learning it, by being relentless in it. But it all starts with a choice. You have to make a choice to improve you so that you can improve your life and those around you. And it's possible. Have a great morning, everyone.
So today's message is going to be about advanced mindset and resiliency. I traveled for 7 years. That was my career in my 20s. I was a travel blogger. And I remember when I was in Montenegro. Montenegro's in Europe. It's in the Balkans. It's a beautiful country, probably top 5 for me. And I was walking and I was just exploring. And I remember I was getting those peculiar stares. I was used to the stares. You know, I'm a solo Black woman. I get it. I'm in a country that doesn't have many Black people. There were those stares, but this stare was different. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep on going with it. Little did I know that, well, Europe, number one, is a very big tennis continent. You have Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, all came from Europe, and they're massive global tennis stars. And little did I know, I resembled Serena Williams. And so the stares weren't about like, oh, it's just another Black woman. It was like, oh, we have this American tennis star in our country. All of these people thought I was Serena Williams, and they were trying to get my autograph. And I didn't know this about celebrities, but when they travel, a lot of times they don't want to be bothered, so they use an alias name. And I was like, no, I'm Glow. I'm not Serena. No, Glow, please, Serena Williams. And they were begging me and telling me that, no, we know that you're Serena. Please just, take a picture with us. And it was so funny. But I was like, I was literally trying to outrun the paparazzi. And I got back to my hostel, and I go out to dinner later on. And there's this one Russian man who was still able to track my whereabouts. And, as I say this out loud, it sounds a little bit creepy, but it was genuine. He had kids that loved Serena Williams. And so he said, Savina, please, for my kids. Savina, please, for my kids. And so what did I do? Got my pen, signed Serena with a smiley face, and let him on his way. That is resilience. Not the kind that we're going to talk about, but it's resilience nonetheless. And I want to talk to you guys about how when there's something that you want, no matter the circumstances, you will find a way to get it. That's entrepreneurship. That's life. But advanced mindset, I want to break down an acronym here because advanced mindset, it comes down to your mind. So I want you guys to write out MIND, and we're going to break down a mind framework that's going to help you have a more advanced mindset. The first one, M, mission, a mission that can change the world. A lot of us are still operating from a very selfish place. And I speak from experience. When I was travel blogging, all I wanted to do was travel the world and get paid. So some of you guys have to understand, like, what is it about your skill set, your career, or your industry that you can attach to a greater cause? Maybe because of personal experience or overcome trauma. Think about it. If you're a nutritionist that overcame a disease, how can you now teach on holistic wellness? Okay. If you're a business coach, maybe who overcame poverty, how can you now attach socioeconomic issues as a part of your branding, as a part of your messaging? Take your own personal story and attach it to a larger mission, because that's what's going to make you stand out as a leader, make you stand out as an entrepreneur, and just make you stand out in your industry in general. Intuition to speak up when it matters. Leadership is easy when things are going well. It's easy to be a leader when you don't have to actually lead on hard stuff, okay? And I was like, ooh. And I found myself like really having to feel convicted about what leadership means and that intuition to speak up when it matters most. Because sometimes controversy is necessary in a teaching moment. Figuring out how to take something that could be controversial and turning it into a teaching moment. Every single thing that I post, you'll never find, my page is not about drama. my teaching style, my education style, nothing is about drama or gossip or hatred. That's not where I come from. It's lessons, it's learning, it's teaching, because that's intuition as a leader. Like, okay, this needs to be spoken about. How can I speak about it in a way that no one else has covered? With grace, compassion, with light. Okay, intuition is having the ability to recognize a moment that can set your core values apart from everyone else. It is easy to do what everyone else is doing. It is easy to speak like everyone else is speaking. The hard thing is to pause and to reflect. And when you're about to speak out on something, how can you do that inner work of saying, okay, can I see myself in this situation? Have I done something like this before? Okay, the next one, N, nuanced navigation. And it's funny because I was like, what is nuance? We use it a lot of times, but we use words sometimes and we're like, wait, what's the actual textbook definition of nuance? Nuance is a subtle difference, a subtle change of expression, okay? And a lot of times you're gonna navigate through life, not always needing to go with the flow of the world. And whether your business mission is to change the face of education, maybe your business mission is to change the face of marketing, again, because your advanced mindset is going to be it's going to be more forward thinking. There's going to be a larger cause that you've got to attach your branding to, but you have to have nuance in your teaching, in your decision making, in your integrity, in your values. You have to be able to recognize what's for you and what's not. Okay, don't chase things. Attract them by the way you show up. Don't chase after things. Attract them by the way you're showing up in the world, okay?
Three in the box waiting for the cross, and it was Daniel. What about that from Gareth Bale? Off the bench with a fabulous finish.
Good afternoon, guys. Making choices is the most powerful thing we've been gifted to be able to do. And it all originates with our thoughts, our mindset. What is taking place in our mind in terms of what thought energies we're allowing into our mind, and then what we do with those energies. So think about it very carefully. What is it that you are thinking and then saying? Because what you say is really a symbol of what you're thinking. So once we understand that power, and once we understand how every decision or every thought impacts everything around us, once we take responsibility of that, we become really empowered to make those decisions that are going to improve our life. So remember that your choice, making a choice in itself and being decisive, will put you on that path to becoming your true great self. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
If you want to be an entrepreneur, the most important thing is to be customer obsessed. Don't satisfy your customers. Figure out how to absolutely delight them. That is the number one thing. You have got to have some passion for the arena that you're going to develop and work in, because otherwise you're going to be competing against people who do have passion for that, and they're going to build better products and services. You can't be a mercenary. You have to be a missionary. Missionaries build better products and services. They always win. The mercenaries are just trying to make money. The missionaries always end up making more money. You have to take risk. You have to be willing to take risk. If you aren't going to take risk, you're probably, it's probably already being done. And they're being done well by many, many people. So you've got to have something that might not work. And so you have to accept that your business is going to be, in many ways, an experiment, and it might fail. And that's okay. That's what risk is. And at Amazon, we still take risks all the time, and we encourage it, and we talk about failure. We need big failures if we're going to be moving the needle. We need to have billion-dollar scale failures, and if we're not swinging hard enough.
Need motivation?
Watch the Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Jeff Bezos, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2, take action.
Stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. So if I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're going to do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring. I think in large part. So stress doesn't come, people get stress wrong all the time, in my opinion. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You can be working incredibly hard and loving it. And likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So, and likewise, if you kind of use that as an analogy for what I was just talking about, if you're out of work, but you're going through, a disciplined approach of, a series of job interviews and so on, and working to remedy that situation, you're going to be a lot less stressed than if you're just worrying about it and doing nothing.
Rule number 3, disagree and commit.
If I have a new idea that I am in love with and I want to see it pursued, I do have to build support for it, just like anybody would, because you need very smart people to embrace the idea and move it forward. We have a framework at Amazon. It's one of our leadership principles. It's called disagree and commit. And that is extremely useful. because after you've discussed an idea, you do need to make a decision and move forward, and the whole team needs to really commit to that. When I really feel strongly about something and the team disagrees with me, I have a phrase that I like to use, which is helpful, which is, I want you to gamble with me on this. It's very different from phrasing that in a different way, because the truth is, when you're in a position like that where nobody knows what the right answer is, you're not saying, I'm right on this, go do this. You're saying, I want you to gamble with me on this, because I don't know if it's right either. I disagree and commit all the time. And I promise the people when I do it, very clear, I don't agree with this. I think it's probably not gonna work, but I will never say I told you so, and I'm gonna be on your team. I will do everything I can to make it work.
Rule number 4, create great products.
You should wake up worried, terrified every morning, but don't be worried about our competitors, because they're never going to send us any money anyway. Let's be worried about our customers and stay heads down focused. And so these are big, most of these are big markets. Another way to answer your question about competitors and Walmart is to say, look, they can succeed fabulously, and it won't stop us from succeeding. These retail markets are huge. So it often doesn't make sense for us to think of it as a pitched battle. Sometimes people think about business as it's kind of like a sporting event. There's a winner and a loser.
It's not a zero-sum game.
It usually isn't. I'm sure there are cases where, but most often, industries succeed. So I can tell you, I think e-commerce is succeeding. And the way we think about it, nobody else has to fail for us to do well. I think ebooks is like that. I think there are going to be many winners. I think ebooks is going to be a huge industry.
Well, there are many competitors now. I mean, you've got Barnes & Noble is one of them, Sony is another now,
and there'll be
Apple
more.
is another.
But I have a list of 50 competitors that we could walk through. I mean, all over the world doing different things. And our focus is going to be, we'll try to pay attention to those competitors, but we're not going to obsess over them. We're going to obsess over readers, and that because those are the people who are buying that device. And we're going to make it. And it's not just a business for us; it's a mission for us. And missionaries build better products.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, think long term.
Our mission.
I'm done hating myself for feeling. I'm done crying myself away. I gotta leave and start the healing. But when you move like that, I just wanna stay. What have I become? I'm looking through your phone now, oh now. Love to you is just a game. Look what I have done. I'm dialing up the numbers, oh yeah. I don't want my heart to break, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All the shame and all not this desperate, not this crazy. There's no way I'm sticking around to find out. I won't lose like that, I won't lose myself. Look what I have done, dialing up the numbers on you. I don't want my heart to break, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that shame and all that danger. I'm hoping that my love will keep you up tonight, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that fear and all that pressure. I'm hoping that my love will keep you up tonight. Tell me, how do you? Yeah. Yeah. Love will keep you up tonight. Tell me, how do you? Oh, love will keep you up tonight, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that shame and all that danger. I'm hoping that my love will keep you up tonight, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that fear and all that pressure. I'm hoping that my love will keep you up tonight. Tell me, how do you?
De Jair Marrojo. Viaja la pelota. ¡Cántela conmigo!
Good evening, guys. I want to share with you a personal example of my path to living, laughing, and loving my way to infinite mind wealth. And this comes from my eldest daughter, who reminded me of some of the things that we often talk about. And as you know, I'm very passionate about developing my mind and helping people do the same for themselves. And I was feeling a little bit insecure. There was, I think my daughter had made a comment on social media on one of my postings, and I jokingly said to her, half jokingly, but half of it was vulnerable and insecurities on my end. I said to my daughter, you didn't say to Daddy that you loved him. You said it to Mommy, but not to Daddy. And then she just looked at me and said, Daddy, the thing that you always talk about that you remind me of? What are you thinking, Daddy? You know how I feel about you. And then so I realized she's right. I got to take my own advice. So thank you, sweetie. Have a great evening, everyone.
I just hear so many conversations right now about politics and whose fault is it? The last president, the future president, no matter where you live in the world. Is it here in the States, is it the Republicans or the Democrats, the liberals or the conservatives? Is it because my mom and dad didn't give me the foundation for success? Is it because the economy shifted? Is it because technology has taken over the world? Man, we come up with so many ways to make it someone else's fault. No one is going to make it easy for you. No one owes you crap. If you want another level in life, the best thing you could do is put all the responsibility on yourself. It's the most liberating thing in the entire world when you're not expecting anything, and maybe even expect that people around you will let you down, that it won't work out. Because listen, in life, there are two types of people, and I think you realize that. Those that complain, those that blame, those that are expecting something, those that want a handout, and those that quietly just take the lumps, have to learn through their own experience. Those that are called dreamers, wishers, and sometimes capitalists and entrepreneurs, which in today's world has kind of got a bad stigma. Isn't that terrible? The thing that made the country I live in, America, the greatest country in the world, innovative people who are going after their dreams with no restrictions, not held back, put their everything on the line, risk all they have to create momentum, to create success, to create jobs for people, to fuel the economy. Sometimes they're the bad people in today's world, while there's a group of people waiting for a handout from those that are willing to take the chance.
Need motivation? Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I was making $300 a month. I quit on my business partner, and the thing that saved me was studying the stories of super successful entrepreneurs. So I hope that this story today helps give you the motivation you need, because I still need it too myself. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Dean Graziosi, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
Listen, I'm just going to say it like it is. If you went to college and you worked your tail off, you didn't go out drinking, you didn't go out partying, you didn't stay up all night, you weren't taking, Adderall during the day to stay awake and something else at night and then partying till 4 o'clock in the morning, and you put the focus in, you put the energy in, and you got straight A's. Good for you. Congratulations, you took ownership. Maybe you're even paying your own college debt. Congratulations for taking responsibility, knowing it's on you, that you want a bigger, better future and you're going after it. But what if you did all that? You made those sacrifices, you're paying the bill, and someone else comes in, someone paid, and I'm not saying it's bad, I do it for my own kids, but you paid, all their college tuition was paid. And they went to every single party, and they partied all night. And they took stuff to stay up and took stuff to go to bed. And I'm not judging in any ways. This is just a story. They did all that. And because they weren't at class, because they didn't work hard, because they didn't study, because they didn't make the sacrifices you did, they were failing. They were failing. And then, at the end of the semester, your professor came and said, I know you guys that have been working hard and got straight A's. I know you've been working hard, but this other group with D's and F's, they're really nice, and I know they didn't do the work, and I know they partied. Let's do this. Let's give everyone a C+, just so we can make it even. Let's give the participation trophy to everyone because they're here. How the heck would you feel? You would be so pissed that you put in the work, you did the effort, you put in the effort, and all of a sudden you're getting penalized, I should say, because you did the work and someone else didn't? Think about this. Isn't it how it is sometimes in life and in business? You go after your dreams, no one knows that you had to go against your family and friends calling you crazy, that you had to raise the money or put money on credit cards, or you had to stay up all night, week after week trying to figure this out. You had to work on your own personal development because you wanted to keep things moving forward when you were scared to death, when uncertainty was at an all-time high, when you felt imposter syndrome about an inch away or a millimeter away from robbing your dreams. You kept going forward. You failed more than once. You hired the wrong person. You kept moving forward. Finally, you get momentum. Finally, you start getting energies. Finally, you start hiring people. Finally, you start hiring new people and doing new things, and you start fueling the economy, fueling your own life, and then you hire more people and have more success, and things keep going harder, faster, stronger. And then you get to a certain point, and what do people say? Wow, she's so lucky. And why is she having that new car? And why did they move into that new neighborhood? And I can't believe that they joined that country club. Let's penalize them. They're wealthy. They're rich. It's like the modern day tax the rich because they don't pay enough, right? It's like, let's penalize them for the success they've done like it magically came out of thin air. Listen, let's stop being envious and start getting our own. Because if someone else can do it, so can you.
Rule number 2, be ready to make sacrifices.
Find someone playing the game at the highest level possible, online, my stuff, and get as much value as you can. But don't let what I'm sharing today, you might think, oh, this is all good, Dean, but I want to start making money on Amazon. That's what people think. Like, or Dean, this is good, but I want to start flipping my first house, doing a wholesale deal. And they're like bypass that, realize going upstream, this is the stuff you need. Because if you don't have the enthusiasm, you don't have the innovation, you don't have the power, you don't have the transformation of that heartache that doesn't drag you down. If you don't do that, if you don't do those things, then it doesn't matter if it's Amazon or real estate or online or anything else, it's not gonna work. So just you being here right now is gaining you so much resources that took me 30 years to figure out. But there's other places. There's so many great videos online for free. Whatever it is you want to do, search out who the best are, find their videos, find their interviews, find their podcasts. And when you can sacrifice, and I mean it, sacrifice money for things that aren't fueling your life, save it up, and then get the next level deep dive courses or training, or go work for somebody for free on the weekends. You want to be a great real estate agent or a real estate investor? Find someone great in your area and say, I'd love to work for free for you on the weekends. Listen, it's success tax. I use that word all the time. Everybody wants that next level of life. Most people aren't willing to put the work in. Put the work in, because a little hard work now can mean a lifetime of abundance and freedom. I used to feel
And here we are again. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths. The way we began. The way it all begins, always. Always with our thoughts. Our powerful minds, which are always subject to our control, no matter how hard it's been to control them. We know the truth, don't we? We saw it today in our effort. We see it every day in life, in the gym of life. We know that we have the power to determine what thoughts we will act upon, and therefore we also have that power to determine what feelings we will allow to flow out and through us. Because our feelings are ultimately connected to our thinking. And if we control our breath with our thoughts, we can always control our thoughts and therefore our feelings. To learn and to grow and to be mind healthy and mind wealthy, peaceful, kind, loving, free and successful in whatever we do, wherever we are, no matter what. That's why we are already, whether we know it or not, determined nation. A people, a nation that always has the power to determine, to think, and to be positively, undoubtedly, unwaveringly loving